All right, so we're diving deep today, getting you prepped for that big diagnostic radiographer job interview.
Sounds exciting.
It is. You guys sent over some seriously helpful stuff, a really detailed career guide, potential interview questions, and of course, we got to talk about RoleCatcher's AI,
Absolutely. It's an amazing tool.
for sure. But before we hit those interview questions, I want to make sure we're all on the same page, right? Like, what does a diagnostic radiographer actually do?
It's more than just the cool tech, though. That's a big part of it.
Totally.
It's like you're a detective, but for the human body, using those awesome imaging technologies to give doctors a map, helping them figure out what's going on.
You're like the behind-the-scenes superhero guiding the medical team with your X-ray vision.
Exactly. And the cool thing is you could be working in so many different places, like busy hospitals or specialized clinics, even private practices. You'll meet people from all walks of life, all ages.
You know, the guide really stressed how important it is to understand patient psychology. Like 61% important, which is kind of surprising for a tech-heavy role.
Yeah, at first glance, it might seem surprising, but you're working with people who are often on edge, feeling vulnerable, maybe even scared.
Makes sense.
Like, imagine a little kid coming in for their first x-ray, or an older person worried about what the scan might show. Your ability to connect with them, make them feel at ease, explain things clearly, that stuff's just as crucial as knowing how to work the machines.
So it's not just about the tech, it's about making patients feel comfortable, especially when they're facing something unknown.
Exactly. Which brings us to why we're here. Those interview questions. How do you show them you've got the tech skills, that patient-focused approach, and the genuine passion that makes you the candidate?
Let's get to it.
Mm.
Okay, first up, this one often kicks things off. Why are you interested in a career as a diagnostic radiographer?
It seems basic, but the interviewer is looking for real passion. They want to see you get it, that it's more than just a job.
So how do you nail that answer? You know, go beyond just the surface level.
Tell a story, a real one. Maybe you saw the power of medical imaging firsthand, or something personal sparked your interest. Or maybe there was this one moment that just solidified it, like, this is how I want to help people. But whatever story you pick, tie it back to the heart of the job. Contributing to accurate diagnoses, using tech to improve care, being a crucial part of the healthcare team.
Showing it's not about the cool gadgets, it's about the people they help.
Exactly. And be ready for follow-ups. Like, where do you see yourself in a few years? How are you going to stay current in a field that's constantly changing?
Makes sense. Okay, next question. Can you describe your experience with different imaging technologies? This feels like your chance to show off those tech skills.
It is, but don't just list every machine you've seen. Think about specific projects, tricky situations, even patient interactions where you use that tech to make a real difference.
I like that.
Like, did you use ultrasound to guide a tricky procedure? Did your awesome MRI skills help lead to a breakthrough diagnosis? Weave those stories in, show not just what you know, but how you've used it to impact real lives.
So it's about storytelling, painting a picture of your expertise in action.
And honesty is key. If there's a technology you're not as familiar with, just say so. Show them you're eager to learn. Mention any steps you've taken to broaden your skills or areas where you're looking for more training.
Makes sense. This field is always evolving.
Totally. That dedication to learning is what interviewers love to see. Now, speaking of showcasing skills, have you tried RoleCatcher's AI for interview practice?
I have. It's like having a coach who analyzes every word, every gesture. Kind of scary, but helpful.
Seriously, it's such a powerful tool, especially for questions about imaging technologies. Record yourself answering, and the AI will tell you how clearly you explain things, if you gave enough details, even how you come across non-verbally.
Whoa.
It's a peek behind the curtain, how you're really coming across in an interview.
That's amazing. Okay, back to the questions. This one's about patient safety. How do you ensure patient safety during imaging procedures?
This is where you go beyond just following the basic rules.
Beyond the lead apron and double-checking settings.
Yeah. Those little things that make patients feel better, like explaining things clearly so they're not anxious, addressing any concerns they have, respecting their privacy, always putting their needs first.
Showing you see them as a person, not just someone getting a scan.
Exactly. And that shows empathy, your understanding of patient psychology, and that you're committed to making it a good experience for everyone who walks through that door.
Okay, let's talk about handling pressure. Classic question. Can you describe a time when you had to work under pressure to meet a tight deadline?
Here, it's less about the specific situation, more about how you react to pressure. They want to see you stay calm, prioritize tasks, and stay professional, even when things are hectic.
So what kind of example would really show them that?
Pick a real-life example where things got crazy, maybe a sudden influx of patients, a tech malfunction, or a time-sensitive procedure that needed quick thinking. But don't just describe the chaos. Explain how you prioritized, stayed organized, communicated with your team, and achieved a good outcome.
You were the calm in the storm.
Exactly. And if you can share any lessons learned or skills you developed through that, it shows you grow from challenges.
Growth mindset. Interviewers eat that up. Now this one's more specific to the field. How do you handle difficult or emotional patients? I'm guessing this comes up a lot in diagnostic radiography.
All the time. It takes more than just being friendly. You need real empathy, active listening skills, a deep understanding of patient psychology, which we talked about.
Right, so how do you convey that effectively in an interview?
Share a specific example, a time you had a patient who was anxious, angry, upset, or even resistant. Explain how you really listened to them, how you communicated with patience and compassion, and how you helped them feel heard, respected, and ultimately safe.
You were able to navigate that emotional situation with grace and professionalism.
Precisely. And never, ever let any frustration or judgment slip into your tone. They want to see that you approach every patient with empathy no matter what.
Okay, let's talk about keeping up in this ever-changing field. Next question. How do you stay up to date with new developments and advancements in radiography?
Time to showcase your passion for learning and commitment to staying ahead of the game.
So what's a good answer? Better than the generic "I read journals" response.
Get specific. Name those journals, the professional organizations you belong to, conferences you've attended, online courses you've taken, maybe even mentors who've guided you. The key is to connect those learning experiences to how they've made you a better radiographer.
Showing you're not just passively absorbing information, you're actively seeking it out, always learning and improving.
Yes. And RoleCatcher's AI can help here too. Their Career Compass feature actually analyzes your skills and suggests career paths or specializations within the field that might interest you.
So you can explore different areas within diagnostic radiography and figure out what skills or certifications you might need.
Exactly. It's like having a personalized roadmap for your career journey.
Cool. Okay, this next one's about teamwork. Can you describe a time when you had to work collaboratively with other healthcare professionals to provide patient care? Teamwork has got to be essential in diagnostic radiography.
Absolutely. Think about all the interactions you have with radiologists, physicians, nurses, other techs, your fellow radiographers. It's a team effort to make sure patients are getting the best possible care.
Totally. So what kind of example would really highlight those teamwork skills?
Pick a situation where you were part of a multidisciplinary team working towards a common goal. Maybe it was a complicated procedure, a tough patient case, or even a department initiative. Highlight your contributions, emphasize your communication skills, your ability to listen and learn from others, and how you put the patient first.
Show you're a team player, not a lone wolf.
And be ready for follow-ups about handling disagreements or conflicts within the team. It's going to happen. How do you stand up for yourself while respecting others' opinions? How do you find that middle ground and make sure the team stays focused on providing excellent care?
Those conflict resolution skills are gold in any workplace, but even more so in healthcare. Okay, let's tackle problem solving, but with a technical twist. Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a technical issue with imaging equipment?
This one tests your technical knowledge, your ability to stay cool under pressure, and your knack for finding creative solutions when things go wrong.
Because we all know technology has a mind of its own sometimes.
For sure. And with medical imaging, those glitches can really impact patient care.
So what kind of example would really wow them?
Think of a time you faced a real tech problem, a software bug, a broken part, a power outage, even tricky patient positioning that required you to get creative. Walk them through the steps you took to figure out the issue, what resources you used, who you collaborated with, and how you fixed it. It's okay to admit it was tough. The important thing is to show your resourcefulness, your problem-solving skills, and your commitment to finding solutions, even when things are tricky.
So you're the tech whisperer.
Something like that. This is another spot where RoleCatcher's AI can help. Practice answering this type of question, and the AI will give you feedback on how clearly you explained the problem, the steps you took, and how well you communicate your tech expertise.
Like a mock interview just for troubleshooting skills. Pretty neat.
It is, and that personalized feedback can boost your confidence, helping you come across as a capable problem solver.
Okay, shifting gears a bit, this one's about diversity and inclusion. Can you describe a time when you had to provide radiography services to a patient with a language barrier?
This is your chance to show you're dedicated to providing culturally sensitive care, making sure all patients feel welcome and understood, no matter what language they speak.
It's recognizing that healthcare isn't one size fits all. Everyone deserves to feel seen and respected.
Absolutely. Think back to a time when you had to bridge that language gap, making sure the patient got it, felt comfortable, and received the best possible care. Did you use nonverbal cues, pictures, translation services, or even a bilingual colleague?
Going the extra mile.
Exactly. And remember, watch your tone. No frustration, no impatience. They want to see that you approach these situations with sensitivity and a genuine desire to connect, even with the language barrier.
Okay, on to a classic question that can be a bit, well, intimidating. What are your strengths and weaknesses as a diagnostic radiographer?
This one throws people off, but it's really a chance to show self-awareness and that you're always striving to improve.
It's taking a good hard look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Recognizing what you excel at
Yeah.
and where you're still working on things.
Exactly. So, for strengths, what makes you a great radiographer? Are you a master at positioning, getting those perfect images? Can you explain complex stuff in a way that patients understand? Are you super detail-oriented when analyzing images? Don't just list them, back them up with stories.
Show, don't tell.
You got it. Now, the weaknesses part, that's trickier.
Yeah, who wants to admit their flaws in a job interview?
Right. But they're not looking for perfection. They want to see that you know yourself, you're honest, and most importantly, you're committed to growth.
Makes sense. So how do you pick a weakness that's real, but not a total deal breaker?
Go for something that's relevant to the job, but something you're actively working on. Maybe you're still getting comfortable with a particular technology, or you find multitasking tough when things are busy. The key is framing it as an area for growth and explaining the steps you're taking to improve.
Turning a potential negative into a positive by showing you're proactive about getting better.
Exactly. And guess what? RoleCatcher's AI can help here too. Practice this question, and the AI will give you tips on how to frame those weaknesses in a positive light, highlighting your commitment to growth.
Cool. Okay, let's focus on the specific organization you're interviewing with. Why do you want to work at this hospital clinic practice?
This one seems simple, but it's a chance to show you've done your research and see a real fit between what you want and what they're all about.
A compatibility check. Seeing if your professional goals align with theirs.
Exactly. Before the interview, check out their website, their mission statement, social media, even news articles about them. Be a detective.
I like that.
Figure out their core values, what they're known for, what projects they're working on that resonate with you. Then, link that intel to your own goals. Maybe you admire their commitment to patient-centered care, their investment in cutting-edge tech, or their reputation for a supportive work environment.
You're not just saying what you think they want to hear, you're showing a genuine connection to their vision.
Right. And that authenticity will show. It proves you're not just after any job, you're after the right fit, a place where your skills and passion can contribute to an organization you believe in.
Okay, conflict time. Describe a time you had a disagreement with a colleague or supervisor. How did you resolve it?
Disagreements are going to happen. This question's about your conflict resolution skills, your communication style, staying professional even when things get tense.
Because it's not about avoiding conflict, it's about how you handle it.
Exactly. Think about a time you had a real difference of opinion, but you resolved it in a good way. Maybe it was about a patient's care, a scheduling conflict, or even how to interpret an image.
Showing you can navigate those tough conversations maturely.
Focus on the process, not the people. Explain how you listened to their side, explained your viewpoint clearly and respectfully, and work together to find a solution that was best for the patient or the team.
Highlighting your communication skills, your ability to compromise, finding that common ground.
Exactly. Bonus points if you can point to a positive outcome that came from resolving that conflict. It shows you can turn those tough situations into opportunities for growth.
Love it. Okay, let's get ethical. Have you ever encountered a situation where you had to question the ethical implications of a medical procedure? What did you do?
This one dives deep into your values, that commitment to doing what's right, even when it's hard.
Being that moral compass, making sure patients are always treated ethically and compassionately.
Exactly. So start by saying how crucial ethical conduct is in healthcare and that you're committed to it 100%. Then choose an example relevant to diagnostic radiography. Maybe you were worried about radiation exposure or felt a procedure wasn't truly necessary.
Showing you're willing to speak up if you see something's not right, advocating for your patients.
Exactly. Focus on how you addressed your concern. Did you talk to a supervisor or a more experienced colleague? Did you check the ethical guidelines? Did you make sure the patient understood and their voice was heard?
Showing that you don't shy away from tough conversations and that ethical considerations are always top of mind.
And it's fine to admit if you didn't have all the answers. What matters is that you took steps to find guidance and ensure that ethical principles were at the heart of the decision.
Okay, last one for this round, and it's a thinker. What do you think is the biggest challenge facing the field of diagnostic radiography today?
This isn't about having the right answer. It's showing you're aware of industry trends, that you can critically analyze the big picture in healthcare.
Proving you're not just a tech whiz, you're a thoughtful professional, engaged with the larger healthcare landscape.
Right. So think about what's making headlines. Rising costs, staffing shortages, AI, the aging population, personalized medicine, the ethics of new tech. Connect those trends to diagnostic radiography.
Show you get how those bigger forces affect your field and patient care.
Maybe you're worried about radiographers getting burnt out because of staff shortages or AI replacing human expertise. Maybe you're passionate about making sure everyone has access to imaging, regardless of their background.
Demonstrating that you're not just aware of the problems, you're thinking about solutions too.
Exactly. And if you can offer ideas for tackling that challenge, even better. It shows you're proactive and want to contribute to your field's future.
Okay, I think we just went through every interview question imaginable.
We covered a lot, that's for sure. Hopefully
Yeah.
you're feeling more confident and ready for those interviews.
Now, I want to circle back to RoleCatcher, specifically the Career Compass feature. Having a personalized roadmap for your career journey sounds amazing.
The Career Compass is a fantastic resource, especially if you're feeling a bit lost in the healthcare world. It's like a GPS for your professional life, guiding you towards the paths that align with your skills, interests, and long-term goals.
Okay, I'm sold. How does it work?
It looks at your skills, experience, education, even personality traits. Then it compares that to a massive database of career paths, finding ones that really match you.
So it's not just throwing random jobs at me. It's actually considering my skills and what I'm interested in to suggest paths that make sense.
Exactly. And it can even spot those hidden gems, like transferable skill stuff you've learned that could be used in other fields.
Yeah.
So say you're a diagnostic radiographer, but you're thinking about nuclear medicine or sonography. The Career Compass can show you how your current skills might fit those roles.
That's super helpful, especially for exploring different options and seeing where your passions could lead. What else can it do?
It can help you figure out if there are any gaps in your skills and suggest courses, certifications, or experiences to fill those gaps. It also gives you the lowdown on the job market salary expectations, how much certain jobs are expected to grow, even which regions need certain healthcare professionals the most.
Oh, that's a lot of useful info. It's like having a career counselor in your pocket.
It really is. It's just one way RoleCatcher's using AI to give job seekers that extra edge.
Love it. Okay, before we wrap up our diagnostic radiographer deep dive, let's talk career progression. The RoleCatcher guide mentions 3 stages: entry-level, junior, and senior. What's that journey like?
It's all about learning, growing, taking on more and more responsibility. At the entry level, you're nailing the basics, how to do those imaging exams, working under more experienced radiographers, building your skills and patient care experience.
So it's like a crash course in all things diagnostic radiography.
Right. Then, as you move up to junior diagnostic radiographer, you start doing more on your own, like analyzing and interpreting those images, working closer with doctors to figure out the best imaging plan, and maybe even being part of quality assurance programs.
Taking on more leadership, becoming the expert.
And finally, at the senior level, you're leading the pack. You might be managing a team of radiographers, creating those imaging protocols, working with radiologists on really complex cases, doing research, mentoring newer radiographers, or even managing the whole department.
It sounds like there's a ton of room to grow and specialize. And there are specific certifications you can get along the way, right?
Yep. Things like the Certified Radiologic Technologist, CRT, Registered Radiologic Technologist, RT, and Certified Diagnostic Radiographer, CDR, show everyone how skilled you are and that you're dedicated to professional development. Those can open doors to those higher-level positions and leadership roles.
So before we sign off, I want to leave you with something to think about. We've talked tech skills, interview tips, career paths, but what about those personal qualities that make a great radiographer? What are those special things that really set someone apart in this field?
That's a really great question. Think about what makes you uniquely qualified for this job. What personal qualities will help you connect with patients, build trust, and provide outstanding care, even in tough situations?
Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the machines or the procedures. It's about that human connection, the empathy, the compassion that turns a skilled technician into a true healthcare hero.
I love that. So remember, with the right preparation, a passion for learning, and that genuine desire to make a difference, you can really shine in the world of diagnostic radiography.
All right, everyone, that's a wrap for today.
It analyzes your skills and matches them up with careers where those skills are needed. It's pretty cool.
That's really smart. So if someone's listening and they're thinking, okay, diagnostic radiography sounds awesome, but where do I even begin? What's your advice?
First, do your research. Dig into that career guide we talked about. Really understand the role, the requirements, the day-to-day stuff.
Get a feel for the field.
Right. Then think about your own goals. Where do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years? Do you want to specialize in a certain area, move into a leadership role? Having those long-term goals will help you stay focused.
Like having a destination in mind.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to network. Talk to people in the field. Shadow them if you can. Get a feel for the real deal.
Get that insider perspective.
And of course, use those amazing AI tools like RoleCatcher. It can help you tailor your resume and cover letter to specific job openings. And the interview practice feature is invaluable. You can practice answering those tough questions and get feedback on how you're coming across.
Practice makes perfect, right? Especially when you have AI in your corner.
Exactly. The job market can be tough, so use every tool you can to give yourself an edge.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So final thoughts for aspiring diagnostic radiographers out there.
Go for it. This is a fantastic field, a real opportunity to make a difference in people's lives. Combine that passion with hard work, continuous learning, and a willingness to embrace new technologies, and you'll thrive in this profession.
Great advice. Well, everyone, that's a wrap for our deep dive into the world of diagnostic radiography.